You're live.
What's up? Perfect Welch here.
Some guy with a Pornhub type profile picture.
Some guy with a Cabal picture from Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, most of the people here will have Mortal Kombat picks. I have, Baraka. Killer J has Cabal, and, and sorry about the echoing, but Steel, who will be showing up at any minute now, should have a
What channel is this being streamed on, by the way?
the Good Taste podcast.
Good Taste Podcast.
Yeah, he'll have a Shao Kahn profile pic, but anyways, let's get on with it. Today we will be reviewing WrestleMania 4. Now I thought this one was kind of interesting because they did, this was the first Big 4 pay-per-view they did a all-out tournament with, So this was before the King of the Rings, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And
here he is.
Hey, what's up, Steel?
It's me, Jared.
Oh, Jared.
I didn't expect you. We were waiting for Steel, you see, but welcome to see you here, Jared. We were reviewing WrestleMania 4.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 4, so from the 80s?
Yeah, 1988, the one they tried to make a tournament. Basically.
Did you already review WrestleMania 1 and 3?
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. We reviewed those ones.
I really wish I was here for the third one, but I didn't contact you till yesterday, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday, but hey, good news.
Oh yeah, this is the big return of.
I should have been there for WrestleMania.
That one
3.
guy.
I think that was the. I should have been with you for WrestleMania. The WrestleMania 3
All right,
review.
how about you guys just speak your quick thoughts on WrestleMania 3? Since Trevor was here first, he'll go first, and then Jared, and then we'll start the WrestleMania 4 review. All right.
First great WrestleMania, Macho Man and Steamboat stole the show.
Steamboat.
If anyone even tries to argue that, they're just wrong. I don't care how big Andre and Hogan was. Savage and Steamboat was match of the night. And Hogan and Andre was good, but it can't compete with Savage and Steamboat, a.k.a. the first ever quote-unquote WrestleMania-worthy match. Now you go.
Oh, sir.
Your turn, Jared.
All right. Okay. Damn it. Come to think
we
of it.
We were talking about WrestleMania 3.
Yes. The match of the night has got to go with Savage and Steamboat. They stole the show for that Intercontinental title, which was a classic. But what drew the show was Hogan and Andre. That drew a lot of audiences in it. That was a highlight of the show. The match of the show was Steamboat and Savage. The highlight of the show was Hogan body slamming Andre. That's all.
Which fun fact about that? Hogan blew out the side of his blew a muscle out of the side of his body from that body slam. Well, tore a muscle, I should say.
Yeah, tore a muscle.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Ready to review WrestleMania 4?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
All right, WrestleMania 4. So
this show sucked.
Well, I mean, okay. It did. I mean, it wasn't like horrible like 2 was, and it had an interesting concept, but it just
there's just way too many short matches. Like a lot of these manias as they started out.
Yeah, a lot of these manias had short matches. Heck, we only reviewed like 5 matches from 3 and 1 match from 1 and 2, and just talked about why these.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Shit, basically. All right, you take your time, Jared. But it's like. But there were some good things about this show. Like, the reason why I kind of like the show a little more than everybody else is because this was kind of Randy Savage's night, He pretty much...
But at the same time, though, this show really was, like, drowning with really short, boring, incredibly unforgettable matches.
You can't forget about Greg Valentine versus Ricky Steamboat Trover.
Of
Oh,
course, along with Jake Roberts and Rick Rude,
Yeah.
until it ended in a time limit draw.
Yeah.
What other? Demolition and Strike Force was okay. Should have been a bit longer. And the main event was okay also. But like that's the thing. It's like if there was at
All right, I'm
least
back.
one great match on the show, then
I'm
maybe I would have given it a slide. But like there was not much to this
All right,
show.
I'm back.
like, yeah, honestly, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant was a disappointment. Like, we came back from the 3 match where Hulk Hogan ended the streak of Andre the Giant, the long reigning, probably the longest streak in
15-year
after.
streak.
Which
Whether
is
you
a
want to
year
argue it was exaggerated or not, still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he had the longest streak in all of wrestling. Hogan ended it.
Even if you're one of those few people
I'm
that
here.
argues that their Mania match at
Hello?
WrestleMania 3 was bad, this match was way worse.
Yeah, this was way worse. Like, people who complain about that match will watch this match and think about what you're gonna say, you know, because this match was just nobody even won this match. Not Hogan, not Andre, nobody. I mean, and this
And
was
the fact
what
that
the
it ended in like the time, and the fact that it ended in a double DQ, is just like, wow.
Well, it's showing your main event from the last WrestleMania.
Let's not forget that like these two are like I don't know if it was this match or it was another match because my memory is pretty faulty with the Hogan and Andre stuff, but the fact that they had like Hogan like get screwed over to lose the belt to Andre, just lose it. Yeah, I think this was in a different match. It led to the tournament to happen. The fact that's how the tournament started is pretty sad. It's like we're gonna get rid of the belt from you because you're bad or something, and then like the referee stuff is just
Hey, guys.
God. Couldn't you have booked this whole tournament better? Like, correct me if I'm wrong on this because like I am not 100% like remembering a lot of this, but like if that's pretty much what happened, then that should pretty much tell you why this Mania really wasn't any good.
yeah, I mean the best parts of this matches were the Demolition versus Strike for match. That was all right, I guess. A decent tag team match, not the best in the world, but it was decent. It had a decent, pretty good, I'll admit, main event.
Yeah.
And
Mark Manderson
even though it's
taking
not really a good match, you know, Brutus Beefcake beating Honky Tonk Man, but only by disqualification, giving him the Intercontinental Championship title still was a great heel. Great way to push Honky Tonk Man's heel status,
Oh yeah.
until eventually Ultimate Warrior, squashed him.
Yeah.
I still can't believe at the fact that like the Ricky Steamboat, like after WrestleMania 3, like he loses the belt to Honky Tonk Man like so quickly. Like they never did anything with his title run.
Yeah, that was something that was pretty disappointing.
But
Bruce
hey, on the bright side, at
Prichard,
least like
Talk
2 years later, he went to go to have one of the greatest feuds with Ric Flair, at least.
Yeah, at least that he wasn't remembered for that one match because man, his feud with Flair was great.
Dick Hare.
Dick hair.
Oh God.
Damn.
Damn.
Well,
What do you
damn.
have to say, Jared?
Yeah, you talk.
Since you're starting with the first WrestleMania to going onwards, man, it's hard to remember the storylines of the 80s and early 90s because I never lived through those times.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of is, but
Yeah, that's why I said like I'm not sure if I remember how this exactly started like completely. I feel like I might be a bit wrong if I say it was because of the
So
whole
it kind of helped
Hogan
us.
and Andre rematch. That I know that match obviously happened. Like it's been shown in
Yeah.
replays.
How did this make us find out about these manias and storylines? Probably the video games from a few years back, from those crazy story modes.
but
I still find it really funny that like the main event isn't even like the longest match on the show. When that happens, you know there's something wrong.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, there is.
that wasn't even the tag team match. I was about to say the tag team match, but even that wasn't the longest match. That was like Jake Roberts versus Rick Rude.
Literally, and it ended in a time limit draw. Like
Yeah.
a time limit draw. Like what?
Harry Balls.
Like,
All right. First of all, sorry for the question. How many matches left up until the main event of the WrestleMania 4?
There were 15 before the main event, so a total of 16 matches on this show, and half of them were like 4 or 5 minutes, some shorter and longer than the others.
Yeah.
16 matches in one show, man, that's a waste of time.
yeah, they kind of stopped that stuff around like WrestleMania 8, I believe.
And nowadays we get those kind of shows these days with WrestleMania.
Yeah, sadly, but you know.
Because
What's
we
up,
all
Bad
just wanted
Taste
that
Killer?
to make a comeback.
What's up, Bad Taste Killer? Watching 1990 Ninja Turtles while
Wait,
eating
what?
pizza. Pizza is awesome. I just had pizza.
I was actually eating pizza too.
Ha! 3 of us were eating pizza. Trevor, me, and Bad Taste Killer.
Heck, the first match of the show is literally like 20-something seconds longer, or almost 20 seconds longer than the main event. The Battle Royale was like 9 minutes and 44 seconds, and the last match, like the main event between Savage and DiBiase, was 9 minutes and 27 seconds. Like, my God. It rather felt like they just forced this Mania.
Yeah.
This Mania felt a little forced. Like, I think if they didn't try to aim for the whole tournament thing, I think it could have been a better Mania.
Yeah.
Since they did.
If only they just did the King of the Ring thing before they did this show. Like, if they just innovated at that time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Alright, anything else anyone want to say about this Mania? Jared, what do you want to say?
WrestleMania 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Apparently, it's like out of effort.
Jordan?
I feel, to me, WrestleMania 4 felt like it was slapped together, like fucking just really slapped together shit there, in a way. WrestleMania 5, from what I could see, looks like a bigger. They didn't have 16 matches, but they had a longer main event, though.
Yeah, much better main event. We'll get to that. Unless you just want to review WrestleMania 5 and WrestleMania 6 here too, for whatever reason, or just
We might as well do that since you guys did in the first video. We might as well just do that.
Might as well, yeah. Alright, WrestleMania 5. This was one that, wasn't really the best WrestleMania,
But it was certainly a step up from what we had before.
Yep. But the main thing I think we all can agree was a good match, and it's one of Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage's best matches of all time, was their match they had with each other at WrestleMania 5. And it was just a very good feud. Randy Savage had turned heel. He had enough of being second to Hulk Hogan.
And feeling like he's going to lose his girl because of Miss Elizabeth, because of Hulk Hogan or something. Being really paranoid. It's like, oh no, he's going to try to take my girl away from me.
Yeah,
the build up to this feud was just amazing.
Who turned on them.
Mm-hmm.
Savage turned on them, right?
Yeah, he was the one who turned heel. It started with after Elizabeth was hurt or something or whatever, and then they were in the backstage in the hospital with Elizabeth arguing and bickering, and then boom, Savage just beats up Macho Man. And Savage beats Hogan. Wow. And anyways,
hit him with this title.
Yeah, match was really good was Rick
and then
Rude
he pushed off
Warrior.
when Elizabeth was trying to break it up, he pushed her. Then some random dude was shouting something. I think it was probably something around the lines of "What are you doing?" And he just punches him, just some random bystander.
Yeah.
Also, the length for a lot of these matches is actually also a step up from last year's. Granted, some of the matches were short, but at least there's slightly longer matches than what we had before.
Oh, and to be honest, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I thought the match with Rick Rude versus the Ultimate Warrior, I thought it was pretty decent for what it was.
Yeah,
their SummerSlam match was better.
Yeah, their SummerSlam match was a lot better, but it was a way step up, but I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. You know,
Yeah, same here.
it
I'd
was
feel like a decent 7 on it.
like 7 out of 10. Yeah, that'd be about a
Yeah, I go there.
3.5.
7 out of 10 here. Not gonna give it 5 like
7 out of
Matt
10.
over.
Like, and they
Let's
had a
see.
pretty good feud around this time, so I guess story helped. You know.
Yep.
And the tag team champion match. You know, with
I mean, like, for the time it was given, it was fine. But, like, if the match were longer, it'd probably be something worth watching, possibly.
with the Demolition and Powers of Pain. The tag team
I still can't
champs.
believe that they actually made that a team.
That
Knowing
was
that Warlord's whole legacy is that he was, at one point, like, he had, like, the shortest, like, length of being in a Rumble match till Santino surpassed him, like, something years later.
But yeah,
And what do you
Demolition.
know? Hogan was the guy who eliminated him, too. Like, isn't that funny? Ha ha
That
ha.
was weird though, but it was interesting.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was on top at this time, but Hulk and Randy's match was really good match.
Yep.
The story was
What was
there,
the main
the
event?
intensity and everything to it was just there.
Uh-huh. Overall, I would say this Mania was okay, I guess.
A decent show.
A
Decent.
decent Mania.
Not the
Nothing
best.
SummerSlam
cool
was
about
better
that.
at that year, by the way. SummerSlam was a vastly superior show that
Yeah,
year, for
I
sure.
cannot
You know
disagree
that.
with that.
You know that same year, the movie that flopped that time was No Holds Barred.
Oh yeah, there was also a
But
Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage did a movie around the same year too.
Yep.
and now our last show we're going to be doing WrestleMania 6.
Anybody want to give
WrestleMania
any last thoughts about 5?
better than
You
4.
know, and WrestleMania 6, it didn't reach the level as what we expected either.
Well, I
Despite
mean,
one good match.
yeah, it had one good match and another match that I personally really like. It was Andre the Giant and who was it again? Oh yeah, the Colossal Connection with Haku and Andre the Giant versus Demolition. This was the tag team championship match at the time. Andre and Haku, the Colossal Connection, they were the tag
Yeah.
team champions, and this helped get Demolition over as a tag team championship. And of course, you cannot forget Andre's iconic face turn, where he changed his ways,
Yep.
went back to being the good guy he once was. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I know this was Andre's last WrestleMania match, but I think this was Andre's last WWF match too, if I'm not mistaken. At least one of them.
Yeah, he turns face, and then he possibly, if we remember correctly, is done after that.
Yeah, and this was a pretty good way to end his career, in my opinion. This was the best possible way to do it. And
Ted DiBiase and Jake Roberts was a pretty decent match, too.
yeah. So rest in peace,
Definitely
Andre the
led
Giant.
to Jake Roberts' best promo ever,
3
also.
years
Oh
later.
yeah. Rest in peace, Andre the Giant. And what match were you talking about? Oh yeah, Ted
I was talking about
DiBiase.
the Jake the Snake and Ted DiBiase match. It had Jake's best promo he ever did.
Yeah,
Yow.
that was a pretty fun match for what it was.
Well, other than that match in the main event, this show sucked.
Yeah, and the tag team match. It really just like we get back from 5. We have one which it's if it was released today, it'd be considered probably the worst WrestleMania. But since it's the first, I'll let it slide. Second was just God. Don't even bring that one up unless it's Hogan versus Bundy. Third was a really
Or the tag match between who did the British Bulldogs face again? Wasn't it Greg Valentine and God, my memory is so faulty.
Besides, I
Yeah.
like the main event between Ultimate War and Hulk Hogan. That was a good main event.
yeah, and this was one of not the first, but one of the first times. Everyone talks about how Hulk Hogan he has this big ego in the wrestling business.
British Bulldog and the Dream Team, yeah. Bruce Beefcake and Greg Valentine. Yeah, that match was
Oh
easily
hey, what's
my
up,
favorite.
Red Wolf 316?
Yeah, Red Wolf's here.
Hey,
What
what's
did
up,
Red
man?
Wolf say?
He said, "I know this is completely random, but what did any of you think of the 1992 Royal Rumble?"
My favorite Rumble match
We're
of all
about to
time.
get to that in a few moments, Red Wolf. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a few moments. But yeah, everyone talked about how Hulk Hogan was like, oh, he's such an egotist. Though he has put over people after this, like Goldberg and The Rock, but this was one of the first times he did it. And, this match was pretty good for that.
But yeah, so yeah, this show, WrestleMania 6, other than like 2 matches and 1 moment from a match that was fine, I guess. The show wasn't any good either.
Yeah, like,
I'd say actually, I don't know if I want to say it was worse than 4. I don't know if I want to go that far.
yeah, that's going a little too far. It's like, 1 was passable just because it was the first. If it wasn't, it'd be terrible. 2 was awful. 3 was really good. 4 had a decent concept but failed at it. 5 was pretty decent for what it was. And 6 was just, other than some matches, bleh. Yeah.
Yeah, Demolition fight the Colossal Connection. Andre Giant Haku.
Yeah, other than those 3 matches, that was pretty much it. But yeah, the 1992 Royal Rumble, who won that one again?
Ric Flair, the '92
Flair.
Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, he
Yes.
did win that one.
It was
Are
for
we
the
gonna get to
belt. That was the
WrestleMania
first time
7?
they had the belt be on the line.
Are we gonna get to 7 now?
No, we're gonna do that tomorrow.
We'll do that later, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll do 7 and 8 tomorrow, and
And 9, of course.
Oh no,
10.
9! I really want.
Hey, if we're doing
9,
3 in one
geez,
video, we
sure.
have to.
Jeez.
All right. Only
All
so
right.
you can scream about how much you hate Lex Luger.
Oh
Well,
god, I
never was a
remember
fan of
my
him.
video I did.
Never grew up
I
with
was
him.
ranting so hard on Lex Luger, and like some dude was like so mad at me for saying that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
You said Lex Luger's gonna beat you up, Troy.
It's like Lex Luger. You
How
ruined
dare
my-
you, Lex Luger! You are garbage!
Yeah, but goddamn. But yeah, WrestleMania night. I mean, not WrestleMania, but Royal Rumble '92. Oh, sorry, but yeah. I agree with Bad Taste Killer and Bread Wolf. I thought '92 was a pretty fun Royal Rumble. Ric Flair won that one, of course. And
Yep.
this led to his legendary match with Randy Savage. And anybody else want to talk about anything?
Nah.
Nah.
The games are fun. That's what matters. Not the games, but the WrestleManias are pretty cool. For what you are.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll get to 7, which was, we'll get to 7, 8, and you all know what
Probably
was
soon.
9.
Like tomorrow.
Soon.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
All right.
maybe.
See you guys.
Alright.
All right. Laters.
Later.
Later.